Yes, we are back. Buongiorno e benvenuti a tutti. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Misano, the 11th season of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series. This is the 2024 season opener, the Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion together with ACI Sport. Great to have your company wherever you are watching us live all around the world from the MotoGP circuit of Misano. You can see there are 37 cars on the grid and the crowd is building. Great to have your company. We are going to hear from the pole sitter, Freddie Slater, in just a moment, who's down with Laura Cola. He will start from pole position for race 1, race 2 this afternoon, and race 3 tomorrow after dominating qualifying. Let's go and hear from the pole sitter, Freddie Slater, who's down with Laura Cola.
A fabulous start to the series with the pole position in qualifying, so now it's time to convert it. What are your thoughts for race 1?
Yeah, it's excited to be on pole for all 3 races, so we'll see what we can do off the line. I think it's important just a clean start and yeah, just play it smart in these early rounds, as you don't want to be in the stewards room too early. So I think just good start and then focus on consistency and then just get the job done.
Good luck, Freddie.
Fast Freddie Slater from the Midlands of England will start on pole position for this race 1 and 2 and 3. He dominated qualifying. However, the reigning team's champion, or the reigning driver's champion, is Kasper Suker, who won the title last year for the German US racing team. Great performance from his teammate, Gianmarco Pradel. The Australian starts out of grid 3 for race 1 after flying the flag for the team which took the 10th title with Kasper Suker. And Gianmarco Pradel is down on the grid speaking to Laura Cola.
Gianmarco, your US racing team won last year with Kasper, so grid 3 is a great start to the championship. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid start in Q1, and for race 1, hopefully we can bring back a good result. Just need to keep it consistent and calm and really push forward. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, really happy.
Gianmarco Pradel starting out of grid 3. Unfortunately, not the best run in qualifying yesterday in race 2, or qualifying 2. We'll start race 2 back on grid 14. You can just see the bottom right of your screen. There is the legendary Gerhard Unger. That is the U in US racing. And of course, they took the 10th title last year with Kasper Suker, the now Red Bull Junior, who is racing in the FIA Formula 3 World Championship. Oh, did I say that? It is effectively a world title. Kasper, dzień dobry. Watching on from his home country as we look at Fast Freddie, who starts out of pole position. The Prema Racing team, the most successful team in the decade-long history of this. The thumbs up from the oldest of the 5 Slater siblings. Watching on live, his father Adrian here at the circuit. Alongside him is Alex Powell. Great first up performance from the Mercedes Junior. Starting out of grid 2. It is slightly cool here this morning. The first weekend of May here at Misano. This is, can we say it for the first time this year, the Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell, multiple WSK International Karting Champion, Mercedes AMG Junior Grid 2, super performance, a lot expected of the kid from the Caribbean. In fact, drivers from the British Commonwealth starting at 1, 2, 3, England, Jamaica and Australia respectively, as Andreas Genser makes his way off the grid. Here is Gianmarco Pradel back for a second season in the Italian Championship. Mentored by Jamie Rush. Down under, watching live, is JR. His driver starting at grid 3 for this, the first race here this morning. A fabulous sight, 37 cars on the grid. As you get a front look, or a look at the front nose cone, or the front wing of Rashid Al-Daheri. Grid 7 for race 2 later this afternoon. A little bit further back, the 6th row of the grid for the Emirati, as the teams leave the grid. We'll take a look at qualifying results. The qualifying results, or the grid, in just a moment. This is round 1 of 7 as the 1-minute board goes up. The 11th season of the world's most competitive motor racing series. The grid looks like this. Fast Freddie starts out of pole position. The Jamaican Alex Powell out of 2. Gianmarco Pradel, the Australian, out of 3. And Akshay Bora, also for the US racing team, out of grid 4. Hayu Yamakoshi from Japan, brilliant in qualifying for Van Amersfoort Racing alongside Enzo Ye from Chinese Taipei. Jack Beaton, the second of 3 Australians, and David Larini, second generation racer. Grid A, Kin Nakamura Berta, former world champion, and Thomas Dolchemanis, who won last year's WSK Open Cup Series race ahead of Rashid Al-Daheri. Dion Gauda, Reno Francot, Ethan Isha, Matthias Ferreira, Andrei Petrovic, former Rotax Grand Finals champion, starting out of grid 16. Maxim Rem, also for the US racing team, who are fielding 6 cars this year. Emanuele Olivieri for AKM Motorsport. Then is Gustav Johnson and Ia Frey for Jensen Motorsport. They took the title in 2016 with Marcus Siebert. Max Popov for PHM Racing from Singapore. Kabir Anurag, the Alpine F1 Junior Academy driver. Alfise Rodella, one of just 3 Italians in the field. On debut, Luca Visciarano for the Real Racing team. Luca Samalisto, Alexander Savinkov, Kamil Murad, the 3rd Australian. Shimo Zhang for Jensen Motorsport. Then we go to Kai Darianani, Lynn Hodenues, after competing in the last few rounds in 2023. You have the American Everett Stack, Andrea Kostic out of 32. Edu Robinson, the British Spaniard from Mallorca. Andrea Duna, also for Real Racing. Jan Koller for Team BVM, Gabriel Holguin. And his Mafia Racing teammate from Switzerland, Nathaniel Berabi, out of grid 37. The cars on their formation lap as the sun tries to break through the cloud cover here this morning. Dry conditions, thankfully, as the Real Racing car, Andreas Duna, has stalled and not left the grid. This is the official debut for Constantin Realanew's Real Racing team 2-car attack for 2024. And it may be down to 1 before we even go green for the first race of 2024. This is Misano, Il Circuito Marco Simoncelli on Italy's beautiful Adriatic coast. Round 1 of 7 for 2024. Race 1 of 3 here for this weekend. Dion Gauda going on through in car 50, so it's Freddie Slater who warms the Pirelli tyres. It is the Tartus T421 chassis built not too far from Monza, where we'll race this year in the Italian F4 Championship. Also the Euro 4 Series as well. There's the Jamaican, Alex Powell in car 80. There's Kin Nakamura Berta, car 51 for the Prema Racing team. Alpine F1 Junior Academy driver. Also former World Cup racing champion. 2 former world champions in the field. Kin and of course Freddie Slater, who starts out of pole position. So the field forms up here at Misano. This is the 11th season of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series. This is the pole sitter, Freddie Slater, who did take pole position on debut last year in the Euro 4 Series. He starts out of grid 1 with 36 cars behind him. There is Alex Powell to the left of your screen. Great to have the crowd building here this morning, this ACI Racing weekend, which also features more than 50 cars in the Italian GT3 Championship. There's Edu Robinson at car 62 for AS Motorsport. Just forming up, there's Kai Dadianani for Crem Motorsport. Edu Robinson, who also raced in the WSK Supermaster Series in KZ2 at the start of 2024, prior to making his debut in the Italian F4 Championship. We are ready for the first time in 2024. The Prema Racing team lock out the front row of the grid. Fast Freddy to the right of your screen. The Jamaican to the left. We race for the first time in 2024. Perfect start from Slater, who will lead the field up into turn 1. Alex Powell in second, and a superstar from Gianmarco, who slots into 3rd place. Looking for Jack Beaton, the 2nd Australian, who goes up through on the inside. Kin Nakamura Berta's right there, as is Davide Larini. Great start from the first of the 3 Italians in the field. as they go up the far part of the circuit through the Rio curves for the first time. A clean start for the first race of 2024. Slater has got the race lead from Powell. There is Pradell. It's actually Akshay who's gone up into fourth place. There's Larini back in P8 ahead of Thomas Stolchamanis, former WSK International Kart Racing Champion. It's the Prema duo who go 1-2. Rashid Al-Daheri on the inside trying to make up positions after not the best run in qualifying. He's in the top 10 now. Is the Emirati back for his second series in the Italian F4 Championship? They go down the back straight for the first time, trying to get the slipstream, which is worth 0.2 of a second here at Misano. Rashid defending for his life from the former World Kart Racing Champion Kin Nakamura Berta just behind. Yamakwashi going through. Hiyu, who was superb in qualifying, in position 5. Larini on the back of Enzo Ye, the driver from Chinese Taipei. Strong attack here from the PHM AIX team for their second series in the Italian F4 Championship. There's Kin Nakamura Berta, who has got through on the inside of Rashid Al-Daheri. Thomas up the inside. Dion Cowder's fighting there as well. Rashid having to defend. Car 50 just behind. That is Dion. Reno Frankop for the Genza Motorsport team, trying to put himself into this battle as well. Then we go to Ethan Isher, Matthias Ferreira, Petrovic, Jonsson, and Annie Frey from Switzerland. Slater continues to lead from his Jamaican teammate. The Prema Racing team go 1-2. Gianmarco Pradell, P3 for the first of the 3 Australians from Bora and Hayu Yamakwashi. Lap 4 now. Slater continues to lead from Powell. Pradell still sitting in position 3. We're back with you here at Misano after a slight technical issue. As you look at the US racing drivers going through, here is Gianmarco Pradell, a podium last year at Mugello in the Italian Series. Just behind him, it is Akshay Bora, younger brother of Nikhil Bora. Rashid Al-Daheri, no surprise to see the sportsmanship flag issued after that tremendous fight with Thomas Stolchamanis. Larini is just ahead. Enzo Ye, Nakamura Berta, Reno Frankot for the Genza Motorsport team. A perfect start, though, for Freddie Slater. Fastest lap early on. Enzo Ye, Larini, the second generation racer. Head of Stolchamanis, Kin Nakamura Berta. We've got double waved yellow flags. An incident further back in the pack. We believe we've lost Nathaniel Dereby, as we see Nakamura Berta still just inside the top 10. Prema Racing team driver, the English-born Japanese driver, the Alpine F1 Junior Academy, going side by side with his teammate Stolchamanis is there. On the outside, Nakamura Berta. Safety car is out. And this is the reason why into turn 2, it was Nathaniel Dereby. Right rear has come off. He's made contact. His teammate going on through. Dereby is out. And that has brought out the safety car after going around. Oh, that's the reason why. And also the second Real Racing team driver involved in that, Luca Viciorano, out into the grass. 1, 2, 3 drivers, one of the Cram drivers involved in that. We have also lost the number 35 machine. So Duna Popov was also involved. Dadianani, that's Kai. And we can see the Muffy racing car, the Swiss team. It is still parked on the middle of the circuit. Nathaniel Berby parked in the middle of the track, and he's not the only one. Everett Stack, the American, Kostic, Holguin going through, also Gabriel. So an incident further back off screen has brought out the safety car for the first time in 2024. Slater is the race leader from Powell, Pradell, Bora, Hio Yamakoshi beaten, Enzo Ye, Ladini Stoltemanis, and KNB is in position 10. Safety car out onto the circuit. There's Edu Robinson going through. Good clean start for the British Spaniard behind Lynn Hodenues. The AKM Motorsport team go to work. Savinkov, Alexander from Ukraine, new front wing. And the team from Bologna. He won't lose, they do a nice job there. He won't lose a lap. And will rejoin down by the safety car, behind the safety car, down in 35th position. The Cram Motorsport driver, though, is out. There's Kai Dadianani, who has retired from race 1. So the safety car out onto the circuit for the first time in 2024. Freddie Slater from pole position has got the race lead. There's better be Nathaniel walking back as well, the second retirement from the first race of the season. So Slater with the race lead from Powell, Pradell, Bora, Hayu Yamakoshi. The Japanese driver was P5 in qualifying yesterday for the Van Amersfoort racing team. Great performance for the Dutch team from the Japanese driver who took the title, of course, in 2019 with Dennis Algar and in 2021 with Ollie Behrman. Hayu Yamakoshi flying the flag for Fritz Van Amersfoort's team. Team manager Rob Niesing down on pit wall, very impressed with his Japanese Charger P5 in qualifying. He's just ahead of Jack Beaton, who's also acquitting himself well in position 6. He was driving for VAR in 2023. We're still under safety car conditions. Olivieri going on through. A lot expected of Emanuele Olivieri, one of 3 Italians in the field at the moment. He's down, way down the field in 21st position ahead of Kamal Murad Kabir Anurag. Here is Olivieri, car 73. The AKM Motorsport team of Marco and Andrea Antonelli. Marco here at the circuit, Andrea otherwise engaged over the last few days, as you would know the reason why. Testing for the Mercedes F1 team at the Imola circuit, where we race the second round of the series in a few weeks' time. This is one of 3 Italians in the field, Emanuele Olivieri, highly rated, mentored. Support for the Emirati, great to see. Former Le Mans champion Dindo Capello mentoring young Emanuele, as we get news from race control that the safety car will pull into pit lane at the end of this lap. So this is race 1 of 3. This is a safety car intervention. Slater has got the race lead from Powell, Pradell, Bora, Yamakoshi, Beaton, Larini, Thomas Stoltemanis, and KNB in P10. Jan Kohler has just exited pit lane. He was involved in that incident which brought out the safety car. He'll try and catch up to the back of the pack, the AS Motorsport team driver. Way down the field, BVM Motorsport driver, similar colours to the Slovenian AS Motorsport team who are fielding Ed Robinson. There is Hayu Yamakoshi from Japan. Stoked yesterday, he told us, after qualifying P5 in this 37 car field. The safety car to pull in. It has, in fact, already done so just now. Freddie Slater, pole position, and will lead the field back up to the line from the Jamaican Alex Powell, Gianmarco Pradell in 3rd place. Then it's Akshay Bora. The US racing team, 3 and 4 behind the Prema Racing duo. Freddie Slater backs the field up slowly and now accelerates into the penultimate corner. They come out of turn 16. The green flag is flying now. And Slater with a perfect restart, a good restart also from Gianmarco Pradell, who's trying to take Alex Powell. They come across the line, the restart is back on as we look at Thomas Stoltemanis trying to take Davide Larini around the outside. Superb from the Latvian. Thomas goes on through. Larini back into P9, Thomas up to P8, the highly rated Latvian, racing in the Southeast Asian F4 Championship over the Christmas New Year break. There is Ki Nakamura Berta on the outside. He's in trouble here. He may well lose a position. There is Rashid, the Emirati. Reno Francot in 23. Dion Gauda, Ferreira, Isha, Andrei Petrovic. As they go down into La Quercia corner. Rashid on the outside. Locks up the brake, trying to take. Davide Larini runs out of road. He keeps the right foot buried though. Here goes the Emirati trying to make the position. Larini covers his line. Gauda just behind. Then it's Francot, Ferreira, Isha, Andrei Petrovic. But out front, Freddie Slater with a perfect drive. And he's pulling away slightly from his teammate, Alex Powell. Almost into the grass in the background. There's Larini on the outside. Dion Gauda, Ferreira, Francot. It is on the restart in race 1. Nakamura Berta going on through. Keen Nakamura Berta now up into P9. Rashid still in position. 10 will start 7 on the 4th row of the grid for race 2 later this afternoon, which will also see Freddie Slater start on pole position once again. Slater leads. Francot going wide. Car 50 is Dion Gauda. In P12 from Francot, Ethan Isha down into the Rio curves. Davide Larini, the second generation racer, son of former Ferrari Formula One Grand Prix driver Niccolo Larini, of course. And DTM star back in the 90s here to support his son, the highly rated Davide. He was in P8 just a few moments ago for the AIX PHM team, but at the moment is now outside the top 10. Pradell still in P3. He was trying to attack Alex Powell earlier on, but has fallen back. He's in the clutches of Akshay Bora. Locks the brake ever so slightly. The US racing drivers, they won the title in 2023 with Kasper Stuka. Freddie Slater perfect as they go down the back straight at just over 230 kilometers an hour. We're approaching half race distance for race 1 here at Misano. The sun comes out to shine. Alex Powell second in the KZ2 World Cup at Wackersdorf in 2023. Multiple WSK champion. Supermasters Series, the WSK Euro Series, the final cup back in 60 Mini. Also in OKJ and OK Senior racing for Kart Republic, the Mercedes AMG Junior. Yamakoshi in car 6 for the Van Amersfoort racing team. That's Jack, the Queenslander, in 45 just ahead. Enzo Ye from Chinese Taipei trying to make the move for the R-Race GP team. And then it's Thomas Stoltemanis, and that's Ki Nakamura Berta in 51 in P9. Enzo under attack. Superb performance from Enzo Ye for the R-Race GP team. Thomas Stoltemanis, the Latvian, will try and launch. Highly rated is Thomas. That's him in car 33 for the Prema Racing team. Enzo defends down into La Quercia. Watch Stoltemanis try and line him up. Ki Nakamura Berta, the former junior kart racing world champion, the Alpine F1 Academy junior driver there as well. Here comes Rashid. Larini back in 11 and Dion Gauda. Enzo Ye is defending. Keen up the inside. Tries to take Thomas. This was just a few moments ago. Popov, Samalisto and Zheng going on through. That was for the positions outside the top 20. Enzo Ye defending. Thomas, watch him into the right-hander. Nakamura Berta down the inside. Enzo still holds the position incredibly. Hoping that behind him, Stoltemanis, Nakamura Berta, Aldeheri and Larini will fight and give him some sort of breathing space. There's Dion Gowder in the background and Reno Francot for the Jensen Motorsport team. Rashid gets the slipstream down into turn one. Aldehedi tries to send it. Nakamura Berta closes the door. Now the race is starting to come alive after a nervous start for the first race of the 2024 Italian F4 Championship presented by WSK Promotion. K&B down the inside. Nakamura Berta goes on through and takes the place away from Thomas Stolchemanes. Davide Ladini, car 16 in the background. He was in 8th earlier on, well inside the top 10. And now he's back in 11th, in danger of making that P12. Dion Gowder down the inside, trying to take the first of the 3 Italians in the field. Dion sends it, but will be on the outside. Can he hold it? Not this time. Ladini holds the place. There is Rashid Aldehedi just ahead. The gap almost out to 1 second between the 2 Prema Racing teammates, Slater and Powell. The positions for the final places inside the top 10. There is Larini coming under attack from Dion Gowder. Closes the door. Watch Reno Francot on the outside. Great performance for the Jensen Motorsport team driver. The Dutchman for the Swiss team, who did win the title, as we mentioned, in 2016. Verheerder getting involved. Yeah, 0.8 of a second. Slater has got this under control well and truly. Launched out the inside, trying to go on through. Gustav Jonsson, Andrea Petrovic, and Ia Frey not far out of this battle. There they are in the background, trying to join on in. Gustav Jonsson was in great form in the top 5, the top 6 throughout practice on Thursday. Did not qualify so well. At the moment, he's in position 16. Verheerder's right there as well. Gianmarco Bradell looking for his second podium in the Italian F4 Championship after finishing P3 in race 1 at Mugello in 2023. Many people saying in the paddock he is a driver to watch out for. And third place here this morning would be a good first up result for the Australian. His US racing teammate, Akshay Bora, the New Yorker, just behind. Powell is pulling away. There is Jack Beaton. So the Australians 3 and 5. The Englishman 1. Stolchemanes going on through in P9 has pulled away from that battle just behind. We'll check the gap. Last time it was 0.8 of a second between Slater and Powell. Stays, well, it's actually up to 0.9, so Slater is controlling the pace. Former junior World Kart Racing champion, a stellar international career, largely with Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Actually won his first ever, poled his first ever KZ2 race in the WSK Supermaster Series last year for the Viral team. As you look at his former nemesis, King Nakamura Berta. They went wheel to wheel in the Reina Campios for the Junior World Championships a couple of years ago. King taking the victory. But it's Slater who's got control of race 1. Dion trying to get inside the top 10 is Gowder. Down into La Huerta. On lap 11, the gap now out to over a second. Slater, Powell, Bradell. Good first up result as well for Alex Powell. Good start to his championship, the highly rated Mercedes AMG Junior. .1 seconds into the final third of the race. That's the gap between Slater and Powell. Fastest lap of the race. That is encouraging for Thomas Stoltemanis at 35.238. Highly rated is the Latvian WSK Open Cup champion at Lonato 2022. He won the first round of the WSK Euro Series at Franciacorta last year. Thomas Stoltemanis, he virtually won that race on the first lap. Went from grid 5 into the lead on the second corner. It was the move of the last few years. Now Thomas Stoltemanis with the fastest lap of the race in position 9. Rashid Al-Dahedi, he was disappointed with his run in qualifying. At the moment, it's just a point for the Emirati, back for his second series. Hyo Yamakashi from Japan, flying the flag for the Dutch team. Car 6 in position 6. Then Sport Racing driver Enzo Ye locks up big time down into turn 1. There is Stoltemanis just behind through the Rio curves. Enzo Ye on the absolute limit here at Misano. As we go into the final quarter of the first race, a relatively uneventful race, thankfully, despite that safety car intervention which saw Kai Dadianani retire. Did compete in the last couple of rounds of the Italian F4 Championship, also a race in the Euro 4 Series, which is back as well, the Euro Championship, the 3-round championship, the 3-round series challenge for 2024. Kai Dadianani, Nathaniel Betterby out on the first, or in the first stages of this race. That brought out the safety car. They are the 2 retirements. Other drivers, Jan Kola, Alexander Savinkov, Gabriel Holguin, Ed Robinson, they were all involved as well, but they did manage to rejoin. A perfect Saturday morning drive so far for Slater. Here is the Jamaican, Alex Powell, the kid from the Caribbean, using all of the racetrack, as does Jamarco Pradell. Border just behind, the US Racing teammates behind the Prema Racing duo. Back to Jack Beaton, the Queenslander, in position 5. Great performance. In fact, he's catching up to the back of Bora. The US Racing drivers, in fact, in 3rd, 4th and 5th. The teammates, the 2 Australians and the American. We know many of you are watching on live on the band outside of Adelaide. The first round of the all-new Australian F4 Series. Adam Gotch and the team, together with Top Speed, doing a fabulous job to relaunch what we believe is the 21st different Formula 4 series being raced all around the world. You can see the ACI Sports sponsorship on the rear wings of both Gianmarco and Jack's cars, both of the US Racing team. Yamakashi, great performance from Enzo Ye on debut for the R-Race GP team. The driver from Chinese Taipei for the French team closes in on the back of Hyo Yamakashi. Slater 1.3 seconds now, clear of his teammate. It looks as though this is how they'll finish. We'll be back for race 2 this afternoon. The sunset here on Italy's Adriatic coast. There is Pradell from his 2 teammates, Bora and Jack Beaton. Hyo Yamakashi, Ye, Nakamura Berta, Stoltemanis and Rashid Al-Dahedi from Abu Dhabi in the Emirates. The Huawei back driver for the Prema Racing team. The final points paying position in P10 at the moment, that is. Trying to close in on Thomas Stoltemanis, who's still trying to attack Ki Nakamura Berta. Into turn 16. And you can see, thankfully, those, how do I describe this carefully? Those, let's just say it accurately, those sausage curbs have been thankfully removed after causing so much unnecessary damage over the last few seasons. Of course, they were out before the World Superbike Championship race at Misano last year. SBK World Superbikes back here on the 16th of June. Better known is the Misano Circuit for moto racing, however, has a long storied history in car racing as well, particularly single-seaters. European Formula 2 Championship racing at Misano, often in the 1980s when the circuit actually ran in the reverse direction. Just a few kilometres from Italy's Adriatic coast, where in springtime here, this is the first round of the Italian Championship. Slight lock up there. Nakamura Berta, Stolchamanis, Alberheri, Galda, Francot, Isha. Davide Ladini has fallen back to 14th. He was running 8th earlier on. Enzo Ye with a podium in the United Arab Emirates Formula 4 Championship. He's not a rookie in the literal sense. In the Italian series, yes. Enzo Ye, car 77 in position 7, just ahead of this battle for P8. They've gone wheel to wheel over the past half decade in WSK World Karting. Kin Nakamura Berta, Thomas Stolchamanis, Rashid Alberheri, all WSK World Cup racing race winners and champions as well, as is Fast Freddie Slater, who looks as though he's on his way to victory. 1.4 seconds clear of his Mercedes AMG Prema Racing teammate Alex Prodell, superb in P3. 30 minutes plus 1 lap for the season opener. This is round 1 of 7. Race 1 of 3 is Ed Robertson is about to have a lap put on him. Does the right thing. Does the British Spaniard from Mallorca in the middle of the Mediterranean. Pulls over after making a stop earlier on, just trying to bring it home to the checkered flag on debut. His first ever car race. A tough introduction for Ed, who's the final runner after the retirements of Berbi and Dadianani. The speeds that's across the start-finish line, they're actually touching just on 230 kilometres an hour down the back straight, where the slipstream is worth 2, maybe 3/10 of a second. This is Alex Powell. His parents, John and Cloudy, here at the circuit. John, a former competitor in the World Rally Championship back, I'll say a few years ago, quite a few years ago. His biggest supporters, and of course his older sisters watching on. This is the Jamaican, this is his team. Angelo Rosin in the foreground of that shot there, the legendary team from Vicenza, who celebrated 40 years of world competition over, of course, the Prema Racing team, to make their debut in the IndyCar World Series imminently. Possibly the biggest news, positive news that is, in international single-seater car racing over the past few months. US Racing, 3, 4 and 5. They're the reigning champions with Kasper Stuka. There is Enzo Ye going through. Kin Nakamura Berta, Stolchamanis, Thomas, two-time WSK International Kart Race winner. Car 33 ahead of Rashid Alberheri. And Dion Gauda just outside the points in P11. Good drive from Reno Francot. P12 in this 37 car field in the season opener. We're coming into the dying stages. We believe this is the penultimate lap. Waiting for word from race control, depending when they cross the line. It will be close. As we look at Matias Ferreira, the boy from Brazil. Well, he's had a quiet race this morning. He's in P15 behind Davide Ladini. Tries to get the slipstream down the back straight through the flat-out right-hander. Matias Ferreira, this is the battle just ahead. The final positions inside the top 10. Nakamura Berta, Stolchamanis wants the place. They're both for the Prema Racing team, as is Rashid, as is Dion in the background. So in fact, they just crossed the line, now starting the penultimate lap by just a few seconds. The gap out to 1.5 seconds. It looks as though the order will be Slater, Powell and Prodell, the drivers from the British Commonwealth, 1, 2 and 3. Just been confirmed from race control. This is the penultimate lap of the race. This happened just a few moments ago. Gabriel Holguin going around. Does a nice job to catch that. Keeps it out of the grass. The runoff area doing its job. Grabs the gear. Keeps it circulating with no damage. The penultimate runner trying to take it to the checkered flag after a couple of races in the 2023 series. The Maffei Racing team, Denny and Christian Maffei. As we see Prodell in the background going very wide. big ambitions for the Swiss team of Maffi Racing. Tough introduction for the first round. And we can say that for just about everyone with the exception of Slater and Powell. This is now the last lap of the race. Slater crosses the line. Down to 1 second. Controlling the pace. Has backed it off as Gianmarco Pradell down through turn 3 runs very wide. Looks as though he will take his second podium in the series. Freddie Slater has backed it off. The gap was 1.5 seconds. It's down to a second to his teammate as Pradell slides. There is Border. 2 podiums in the 2023 championship. He'll come up 1 short here this morning. Jack, P5 in car 45 as his countryman locks up down into La Quercia. Here is Gorda. And this is the race leader. Soon to be the race winner, you would think. Alex locks up behind Fast Freddy as they go down the back straight for the final time. The Prema Racing team, they lost the Drivers' Championship in 2023 to US Racing and Kasper Stuka, but they're about to open the 2024 season, the 11th year of the Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotions since the very beginning when Lance Stroll took the 2014 title. They're about to finish 1-2 in the season opener on Italy's Adriatic coast here at Misano. Into turn 16 for the final time from pole position from the King's England. It's Fast Freddie Slater who takes victory. It's a Prema Racing 1 and 2. The Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell across the line, super start to his 2024 campaign. Gianmarco Pradell on the podium for the second time in his young career. Heads home his US Racing teammates Akshay and Jack. The German team at 3, 4 and 5, Pradell, Bora and Jack Beaton. There's the race winner, the Prema Racing duo. Slater wins race 1, round 1 of the 2024 championship season here at Misano. Powell second, and Gianmarco Pradell does hold on to third place. After the restart behind the safety car was trying to make the move on Alex Powell. That did not pan out. He tried to attack Alex. Alex held him off. But Pradell does hold off Border, his US Racing teammate, to finish in P3. Great start for the US Racing team, but a perfect start for the Prema duo who go 1-2. Slater wins from Powell. And there is Gianmarco Pradell. So yes, the drivers from the British Commonwealth finish 1, 2 and 3. Alex is Jamaican. Freddie Slater, position 1. Okay, the Jamaican-American Alex Powell and the Australian Gianmarco Pradell. P3 for his second podium. Akshay Bora, good start to his campaign in P4. Jack Beaton, Hyo Yamakoshi. What a debut for the Japanese driver. Head of Enzo Ye, the same can be said. Car 77, finishing in position 7 for the RSGP team. Nakamura, Bertha, Solchamanis and Rashid gets the final point. Holding off just Dion Gauda. The Indian Singaporean finishing ahead of Reno Francot just outside the points. Luca Viscerano and Andrea Duna for the Real Racing team on debut in the series is the Romanian team. Tough introduction, they will get better as the series goes on, but it's a long way to catch up to the Prema Racing team at the moment, who finished 1-2 in the first round here at Misano for 2024. Slater, obviously, with the championship lead after the first of 21 races in the 2024 season. Slater and Powell. And Gianmarco pulls up just behind in P3.
Good job. Good job, Freddie. Well done. Good job.
Alex's father, John, congratulating the race winner, Freddie Slater, together with his Prima Racing team. They finish one team, 1-2, and the team from Vicenza is back on top in the Italian F4 Championship. Freddie Slater takes victory in the first of 21 races for 2024. Pole position and a perfect start for the Englishman, who wins here. Powell in second place, and Gianmarco Bradell crosses the line in P3. Laudacola is down with the race winner, Freddie Slater.
So congratulations, you led from the start, you brought home the first victory.
Yeah, it's mega to bring the first one of the season, obviously the 11th seasons of the Italian Championship. So yeah, it's a good start, and yeah, we'll see what we can do in the next couple of races, and more to come this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take a look at the highlights of race one of the 2024 championship. Alex Powell from grid 2 tried to go wheel to wheel with his teammate, but Freddie Slater from pole position led the 37 car field down into turn 1 for the first time here at Misano. Gianmarco Bradell from grid 3 immediately up into third place as Hiyo Yamakoshi tried to attack and go through on Bora into fourth. Couldn't quite do it. In fact, Yamakoshi would fall back into 7th place. This was the incident which saw the retirement of Kai Dadianani and Nathaniel Berby, and also brought out the safety car. Everett Stack, the American, was also involved when we went back green. Slater simply disappeared down the road. Davide Larini, who was running in position 8, the first of the 3 Italians, fell down the field, ultimately to finish in 14th place. This was a great fight between Kim Nakamura Bertha. Enzo Ye actually held them off superbly as Gabriel Holguin went around the second Mafia Racing team driver. Nakamura Bertha finishing 8th ahead of Stolchemanis, Albaheri and Dion Gauda. Out front, unstoppable, fast Freddie Slater takes victory in the first race of the 2024 series. We wait for Gianmarco, Alex and Freddie to come up onto the podium. The first ACI racing weekend here at Misano. The Automobile Club of Italy, the first country to embrace the outrageously successful Formula 4 category, more than 20 championships around the world. And with all due respect, this is the most ferociously fought, the most competitive. The Italian F4 Championship was the first to race back in 2014 with current Aston Martin Formula 1 driver from Canada, Lance Stroll, the inaugural champion. This is the 11th season, and Freddie Slater looking to follow in the footsteps of his countryman Ollie Behrman, who took the title for England for the Van Amersfoort racing team in the 2021 series. Freddie Slater, certainly one of the favourites for this year's championship. Started from pole position. He'll be on pole position for race 2 later this afternoon. The green light, or the green flag, at 5:45 local time, and of course race 3 tomorrow morning also will start from pole. How about this? GMP in position 3. Gianmarco Bradell, the Australian, with his second podium in the championship. The Jamaican Alex Powell in second, and the winner of the first round of the 2024 Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion together with ACI Sport. It's Freddie Slater, unstoppable from pole position. And he wins the first race of the season. Mr. Luca Dodonno, the president of WSK Promotion, to present firstly the third place trophy to Gianmarco, the very Australian, although he's, well, of Italian descent, let's say that. The Jamaican Alex in second place, and the proud Englishman Freddie Slater takes victory in the first round of the season. The first podium of the championship, Freddie, Alex and Gianmarco finish 1, 2 and 3. Still too young to legally drink, although it's not exactly as severe a law as you would think here in most of Europe. The champagne is sprayed. He's happy with that, Gianmarco Pradell. Third place will have to start from grid 14 for race 2, which is later on this evening. Stay with us because we've got the rookie podium. In just a moment, Alex Powell, car 80, locking up. He finished P2 outright, but he's the first of the rookies home here today. Enzo Ye, what a debut for the Chinese Taipei driver. Car 77 for the R-Race GP team, finishing 7th outright. And second of the rookies. Last year's champion, of course, Arvid Lindblad, the Londoner, the Red Bull Junior, who last year won the rookie title. Came so close to winning the outright championship as well. This is the rookie podium, though, for race 1 of the 2024 series. Ken Nakamura Berta, the English-born Slovakian-Japanese driver, the Alpine F1 Academy Junior, finishes 8th outright. Third of the rookies, Enzo Ye for the RS GP team, second rookie. And Alex Powell, the Jamaican, does finish as the top rookie in the first race of the season. Once again, Mr. Luca Dodono, president of WSK Promotion, presents the trophies. Third place to Ken, second to Enzo. And Alex, it's not the first time Luca has presented Alex with a first place trophy after an outrageously successful career in WSK World Karting since 2017. The rookie podium here, Ken Nakamura Berta will be, well, he gets some points out of this. He's aiming for the outright championship. Second rookie is Enzo Ye. He'll be delighted with that. Alex Powell, rookie race winner and second outright. Great to have your company here for race 1. We'll be back for race 2 this evening at 5:45 local time. We'll see you then.